Hello, and welcome to episode 20 of Movies and Us. I'm your host, Marcus,
And I'm TJ.
and this is the movie review show that reviews genre movies from the beginning, sometimes.
I guess we're doing a casual thing this week.
So this week we're reviewing the 1994 release of Fantastic Four, but it was not really a release, it was like a sweep it under the rug kind of movie.
Well, apparently they finished the entire thing.
Yeah. I was reading up on it, and I assume you did too. I was like, this is very fascinating
I
how
mean,
they did this.
it's not. It was intended to be released, even though Stan Lee, the creator of Marvel Comics, says the guy only made the movie so that he could keep the rights to Fantastic Four. Because I think this is the same company that made the 2004 and 2007 Fantastic Four.
I believe that, yeah.
Because they've been trying to make the movie since like 1980 something,
No.
83.
Oh, the company, Roger Corman's company?
No, the people Roger Corman in 83, Constantine Film obtained it. So I don't know if it's Corman or not.
I'm curious. No, it's definitely, you're right, because 2005 version was this. Wow, and 2007.
And
And
I
so
think and I think they did the shitty remake too.
it doesn't look like it.
No.
No.
Oh, all right.
Possibly, though. I don't, from what the list I'm looking at, no, but it's definitely possible. It's fascinating, though.
So yeah, but they had it for a long time, but I guess they were losing the rights in '92, and the guy asked for Marvel for an extension, but they weren't going for it. So they put a movie in development, this movie, and then Stan Lee said they only did that because they wanted to keep the rights. But they said no. He had every intention of doing it, but it doesn't say why they didn't release it.
Yeah, that I don't understand, because it's,
It
I don't
just
know.
the actors and everybody else got cease and desist orders from public promote.
Yes.
Everyone got cease and desist
Yes.
and
Sorry.
stuff promoting their film, and then they just got rid of it. And apparently, one guy, some guy named Arad, I don't know who he is. He said that he was concerned how the low budget film might cheapen the brand, so he purchased the film for a couple $1 million and without seeing it, and ordered all the prints to be destroyed in order to prevent its release.
That's insane to me.
So
Because of
yeah.
all the movies they released at the time, this isn't atrocious.
No, honestly, I think this might be the most faithful Fantastic Four movie we've got.
And that's saying something, because we had technology improvements over this past years, and man, at
It's
the point of this
very
recording, yeah.
it's got a lot of comic accurate things in there, but it's very Roger Corman.
But a good Roger Corman that in the same way,
It's
in a weird way.
got very Swamp Thingy vibes.
Yes.
I mean not Swamp Thingy, Toxic Avenger vibes.
yes.
Which I guess they're kind of the same character, sort of.
Sometimes.
Uh,
But yeah, we're reviewing Fantastic Four. That's a little backstory to it.
Roger Corman's 1994, but in case he didn't say that.
I did, but you know. Directed by, I'm gonna massacre most of these names. I'm sorry, people. Olay Sasson. Just Google it. Screenplay by Craig J. Nevis and Kevin Rock. Produced by Steven Rabinder. Starring Alex Hyde White, Jay Underwood, Rebecca Stabb, Michael Bailey Smith, Ian Trigger, Joseph Culp, and George Gaines. Runtime's 90 minutes and a budget of $1 million.
So what I don't understand.
What's up?
Everyone says this is the Roger Corman 1994 movie, but he has no credits on the movie.
No. Well, he does have the credits of the movie in his IMDb. Which, fun fact, his IMDb producer credits, 514.
Well, he made a lot of shit.
Yes. Yeah. No, he's proud of that too.
I mean that literally and figuratively.
Oh man. I counted about 23 movies came out under his production in 1994. 23 movies in 1 year. And each movie
I straight up mean 24. That wasn't even a pun.
Wow. And about each of those movies takes about a month to film. This one did at least. So let's say like half a month to a month to film. That's a lot of movies in that time frame he produced.
Yeah.
I just had to put that out. That's crazy to me. But yeah. I don't know why I didn't get credited like that. but he
Yeah,
does in a
I'm
weird
just
way.
wondering what he did
What do you like? What do you mean?
on the movie.
Throw money at it?
Yeah, but even then, he would get a producer credit.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't
I'm,
know.
I'm just curious why they call it the Roger Corman film if he's not credited anywhere. You know, it's just weird to me.
That's very weird. But it's Hollywood, so that's like the least weird Hollywood thing we can have right now. As I said, it was released in 1984. What else came out in 1984 is the top 10 box office, starting with Interview with the Vampire Chronicles at number 10. Number 9, Mrs. Doubtfire. Number 8, The Mask. Number 7, Speed. Number 6, Clear and Present Danger. Number 5, The Flintstones. Number 4, The Santa Claus. Number 3, True Lies. Number 2, Forrest Gump. And number 1, The Lion King.
Are you done yet? You just woke up.
Number 12 was Schindler's List, if you guys cared. Number 14 was Philadelphia. 15 in Stargate. Ace Ventura Pet Detective at number 16. Pulp Fiction also came out that year, number 19.
That must have been a big Jim Carrey year because he got The Mask and Pet Detective in the same one.
Mm-hmm. The Crow came out this year. Oh my goodness.
We'll get to that.
Are we doing that?
We'll get to that on the when we finish all the Marvel and DC movies.
Okay. That was number 26.
We'll get to Dark Horse and Image and all those other comic. It was just we explained it on the one video, but let's say it again here. It's just a lot to cover if at once, you know. It just trying to keep it chronologically in order was getting to be a little hard.
Hard for him, not hard for me. Leon the Professional came out this year?
Well, because the lists keep changing. They keep moving movies in and out.
Yeah, true.
So of these lists, and I just got to a point where I like even the Punisher, the Captain America, and this movie that we're covering today was taken out of the movie list of live action theater movies of DC. So it's just like I couldn't keep track of what movies moved to where at the time. So it's what's the problem when you work off Wikipedia and they can edit it at any time.
Sounds like a excuse for being a lazy person.
Oh yeah, I'm being a lazy person.
Yeah. At number 127 was Cool Runnings, so I had to get that out there. And yeah, runtime's 90 minutes. Anything else we can talk about before we get into this review?
Nope.
Well, let's begin. We start off in space. Sorry, I had to mute the movie. What's up? Why are you doing your thing?
You.
What?
Just you.
What?
Nothing. Just continue.
Was I going to Shatner with it?
I guess. Whatever.
Sorry. Okay, so start off with space, ladies and gentlemen, and
we always
everyone in between.
Space.
At this time frame, wait until we get to the more recent modern crap.
We start off in space in those movies too.
Yeah, I know. And the number 4 comes flying at us. And my God, these opening credits for the time period are low budget as it is. Flying through space, and we get to a professor talking about light times, speed of light. And who's sitting? What's up?
A lot of science is being explained in this opening.
Yeah, speed of light. How can we one day get to it and past it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He's setting up exposition because there's is it a comic coming by or something?
I'm not sure because he didn't draw a comic. He just drew like wavy lines on it. So I think it's supposed to be like energy of some kind.
Yeah, it's like a big energy field. They're calling it Colossus, and it's supposed to, I guess, not have an effect on us, but well, people sitting in the class is Reed Richards and Victor Von Doom. That's their names properly, right?
Yeah, and Ben Grimm.
Ben Grimm. Was he in it? Was he in here too?
Yeah.
Oh, he was sitting next to Reed. You're right. I guess Reed and Victor passing back and forth on how they want to harness the power of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But then we just cut to them talking about it, and they walk out the class, and I love this. And they walk past a group of guys just playing chess or checkers, and they're just obviously bad guys. They're just dressed like bad guys.
We'll get to them.
Yeah. You don't know they're bad yet, but the camera lingers on them. Some ominous music plays. Like, these bad guys. We got it. It cuts to Mrs. Storm's house of something.
This was a weird boarding house.
Boarding house, that's what it is. Why do you think it's weird?
Because there's like 2 kids.
In that big ass house, yeah.
In that big house, and they treat them like they're actually like their parents, and that's their mother.
Well, okay, dumb question. How's a boarding house work?
I figured it was more of an orphanage, isn't it?
I thought they were like halfway homes for kids, essentially, like not for
Well,
drug related, but like from getting from the orphanage to a fully real home, I guess.
possibly, but I always thought orphanages were based in like churches and stuff like that. Like that was the definition of a orphanage, whereas a boarding house was more of a state run thing.
Oh, okay.
But I could be completely wrong. I have no idea.
Well, yeah, this is where we meet Sue and Johnny Storm. Wait, hold on. It's called Mr. Storm's Orphanage, right? Or just Mrs. Storm's boarding house?
I didn't catch the name. I found that out when you said it.
No, it was legit called her boarding house, Mrs. Storm's boarding house.
Okay.
And they're Johnny and Sue Storm, correct?
Yes. So I just assumed they were her kids.
So how's this like? Okay, comic book. Let's go with comics. Do you know anything about the comics? How's that work? Like, are they adopted? Are they true brother and sister, or like what's their?
Well, Johnny and Sue Storm are definitely siblings in the comics, but I don't think they were. I think they had parents.
Okay, so now in the 2000 whatever version,
I mean, they might have been in a boarding home. I'm not really 100% sure, honestly. I'm not really all that up on the Fantastic Four lore.
Okay.
I know a lot of it, but not like I don't know intimate details like that.
Okay, that's fair. Thank you. So yeah, we mentioned already, Victor and Reed are in college, while Stu and Johnny are in this home. They're like what, 10, 12 at most.
She is, I believe, 12.
Okay, that's why I wrote down my notes. At most 12 and under.
I think she's 12, and I think Johnny is 8, if I remember the ages correctly. I could be wrong on that too.
That's not a big deal. I only mentioned the ages because later on, Sue and Reed kind of have a thing going on. It's just always well,
I was gonna get to that. Their whole relationship, I've always found it weird. He's known her since she was a little kid, and he's at least a decade older than her. I mean, there's nothing wrong with like 30-year-old dating a 20-year-old.
I don't know, man. It's something
that happens all the time. But if you know the kid before they were grown up, it's weird.
But was it always like that in the comics too?
Oh yeah, he's always kind of. It's always, they even mention it in the comics that he's known her since she was a kid.
Oh, it's so creepy.
Yeah, I mean, but if like a 30-year-old meeting a 20-year-old stranger and then they hitting it off is not, it's acceptable, you know. It's
yeah.
But if you've known the kid, it's almost like you're grooming them a little bit.
Yes.
So it's
especially if you know them for so long, they're gonna naturally like you like that. So yeah.
Right, it's creepy, and I've always found it creepy.
Okay, I didn't know that was a comp. I thought that was just this movie thing. Okay, I'm glad you cleared that up.
No. They get married. They have kids in the comics.
So that's so gross. Okay, I'm sorry.
They have 2 kids, and they break up off and on a lot. She falls for. There's like a love triangle between her, Reed, and Namor, which is the Aquaman of Marvel.
Yes. Okay.
The Fantastic Four has always been like a dysfunctional family. Like, it's not really portrayed in this one, but Ben Grimm's kind of a dick in the early comics. They kind of tone that down as it goes on, but like in the original Fantastic Four comic, he's constantly just a big tough guy, and he's in love with Sue Storm throughout all the comics.
Okay.
And I mean, even in the Ultimate comics, he ends up with her in the Ultimate Universe, which is like an alternate reality of the main universe.
Yeah.
And then but like even in the first comic, he's saying to Sue, because in the first comic, she doesn't look like she's like a kid in the first comic. She looks like an adult.
Yes.
Her and Reed Richards are engaged.
Oh,
right, right from the first comic. And Ben Grimm, when he gets turned into thing right before, he's like mad at Reed for, causing them to go into space and getting these powers. And he's like, why are you with him when you should be with me? I'm super buff and stuff like that.
Yeah. He kind of has that same personality a little in this, but not to that degree of cockiness.
But no, they're always a dysfunctional, screwed up group.
Which makes them appealing to a lot of people, apparently.
I've always kind of found them boring myself.
Well, yeah, but you're not a lot of people. You're special.
Oh, yeah, well, whatever.
Let's get back to this review. Sorry. So yeah, you see those two, Ben and Reed, meet up, and see Stu and Johnny, and they have like the little exposition banter crap and all that. And then we cut to the later that night, Colossus heading over to Earth.
Well, you forgot to mention the kids are going to see Colossus, and they're excited about, And even at that age, she was smitten with Reed.
Yes. Oh, God. Yeah, because Reed like pet her hair or something like that. She's like, "Oh, he's so dreamy." Like,
Yeah.
creepy.
So good. You
That's
can continue now.
so weird. But yeah, so it's, Reed and Victor go to the lab and trying to get this power they're trying to harness. And people are just like in awe about Colossus. And of course, in the lab, the experiment goes wrong. The machine malfunctions. Reed dives out the way of what's happening. And Victor takes the brunt of the force and just gets demolished by this electricity. So typical 1994 effects. They end up in the hospital. Oh, somehow does Ben know where they're at this time? Like, does he know?
They were on the university campus, and then everybody saw that everything was going wrong, that it was drawn in, so he ran.
Did they see it? Because I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah, he saw it from the outside, and he ran there to try and save Reed.
Oh, okay. So I wonder, like, why is this guy running towards this thing? How do you know what's going on?
Yeah,
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, he's seen them drawing in the energy from their little university science lab thing.
Yeah. So anyway, they end up in the hospital. Reed's got a few marks on him, so does Ben. But unfortunately, bad news, Victor is dead. They roll his dead body in a sheet past them for emphasis of his deadness. And they cut to the bad guys over his dead body. No one around. It's like, oh, we gotta save them.
Oh, no. You skipped the most important part.
What part?
When they bringing out Victor's body, and then the doctor comes in and talks to Reed Richards.
What about it?
It's the bad guy.
Oh, yeah, it's the black guy.
Comes in, and he is so deadpan. He just sidesteps into the scene out of picture, and deadpan says, "Yeah, he's dead. He's going to the morgue, and he's acting. He's definitely these bad guys are so ridiculously comic book characters. It's ridiculous."
And they have some Eastern European accent. I guess they have. What's Victor's homeland or land he owns?
It's
Latveria?
it's a false country called Latveria.
Yeah, so I guess that's the accent they supposed to have. And then, yeah, they're just bearded Russian, Latvian dudes. Great.
It's supposedly like north of Serbia.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So anyway, 10 years later, and we see Reed talking to Ben about the project and I guess the spaceship they're trying to have go forward.
Yeah, because he's trying to get the experiment. Oh, did you mention that Dr. Doom's still alive?
Do we know that yet in the movie? I know they're working on him.
When they went down, he was still alive. He opened his eyes, and henchmen were like, "Yeah, we have to keep him alive."
Yeah, he's not dead, guys. He's just on the grips of death, which I always found okay in the comics. I know like Dr. Doom has like doesn't he have like the cross of Jesus in his thing and like blood from a vampire or some Jesus' blood or something like that. Like he has so much on his suit, right?
I remember seeing it.
It's not in the movie. I'm saying in the comic books. Like
I know he can cast magic because his mother was gypsies. Because all gypsies can cast magic, apparently.
Yeah. So what?
And he found the suit of armor with the iron mask.
He found it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. I was wondering, like, how's he been so, I guess, old?
No. He didn't find it. He forged it. I'm sorry.
Oh, he forged it.
He forged it. But before the mask had finished cooling, he permanently bonded it to his skin.
Oh, that's more metal. So what kind has he always been that same personality, even in the comics as in the films? Like, always, like, I guess, motivated and more like single, like, on track kind of guy.
He's always been, like, an egotistical dictator ruler, yes.
Okay.
I mean, of course, it's comic books. If he becomes a good guy for a little while, he becomes a powerful god at one point.
Of course.
There's all kinds. Dr. Doom's a big antagonist in the Marvel universe.
Oh yeah, one of the better ones. Way better than Loki.
I think he even killed Thanos at one point.
Does he really?
Yeah.
That's pretty metal.
So, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of history with Dr. Doom.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, they're back on the at their fancy laboratory, and Reed's talking to Ben. Reed's talking to Ben. We need to get a crew together. Like, oh, Ben's like, I know the guys for this, and they end up back at the Storm's.
Well, what's funny
house.
You want to know what's funny about this scene? Because first of all, in the origin of Fantastic Four,
yeah,
they don't get their powers. Well, they kind of get their powers the same way, but
yes.
Not really. It's not called the Colossus. It's cosmic rays. Why didn't it just go with cosmic rays? I don't know.
Because the Colossus sounds more ominous and cooler.
And I don't think, cosmic rays are essentially radiation that can't be drained from them. And I guess that's the big plot point of this movie.
Exactly.
So, anyway. when he's trying to convince them in the comic, he's like, Ben, I need a pilot. In the movie, he's like, Reed says, I really need this. And Ben's like, then you got it, buddy, sure. In the comic, he's like, I'm not going to space. You don't know what those things are going to do.
Yeah.
They're gonna kill us. And then it's only because Sue says, well, I didn't think you were such a coward, Ben. Well, I'm not a coward, and I'm going to fly up there. He certainly got cold chicken, and that's why he did it.
Yeah. Which is...
Also,
yeah,
they're only going up there because they need to get there before the commies get to it first.
Exactly. Classic old. Rushes are bad. I love those little plot points. It's so dated. It's great.
But that's what happened in the origin.
Yeah. And this one is so cringy how they just walk up to the house and they talk how Ben's talking to the mother and like, oh, it's so over the top, sappy, and the acting in this movie a lot of times is over the top. A lot of times it's good, but a lot of times it's over the top.
And apparently Sue Storm's going to space in a dress.
So. Yeah. Because Reeves totally against
in a dress that's shown to make herself look good for Reed Richards.
So gross. But yeah, Reed's definitely against this the whole time. Like, they're kids. What do they know about this? And Johnny comes up being all Johnny and bro, like whatever he is.
Well, they mentioned that
they're interested and they know a lot about the project.
Yeah, because I guess Reed's keeping them up to date on the project.
Exactly. And then he sees Sue walk down, like you said, in a nice little dress. And he just pauses mid-sentence. It's like, don't you want us to come? Like, yeah, come on. And it's just so cringe. But then they get to the door. The mom stops. Look at you, Fantastic Four. And it's like, oh.
No, she stops and says, look at you, the Fantastic Four. And I literally facepalmed.
Oh, yeah. I looked at the time like, oh, God, we're 20 minutes into this. Like,
this is so bad. And at this point, this is where I didn't write it in my notes yet, but it was like, the music in this is so Roger Corman.
It's so everything's about this over the top, but in a weird way, it works well with the movie.
Like when the bad guys come on, the doofus bad guys, they're like, it's so like, these are the comic book villain characters.
Oh, these are the good guys in Happy Moment. Here's some happy music. Nothing subtle in this.
No, it's a comic book.
Yes, yes, it's a comic book. So after that, we cut to Is it their laboratory? Is it like a bank they're at?
I don't know. Honestly, they don't tell you.
Okay, yeah. It's an exterior shot. There's an armed van outside with guards, and they come and get a big...
Maybe it's a military installation?
It could be that. Yeah, it could be that. And yeah, they open it up, and there's a guy carrying a case. Oh, what's in the case? We don't know. And across the street, some guy's poking his head out the sewer drain, and it's our secondary villain, I guess you want to call this guy. And his name is the Jeweler. And he's like...
I'll explain about him in a moment, but I want you to get to what's inside the briefcase.
Okay, I want to scream what he looks like real quick. He's like a little... He's got like a mole vibe. He's got a jeweler's eyepiece on, a little top hat, long hair. He looks like DeVito. He's like the Penguin a little bit. Oh my God, it's the Penguin. Anyway, what do you want me to get to? I'm sorry.
What's in the briefcase?
Rebecca's at the building, and Ben and Reeves are walking up the stairs to their room. They have this suitcase, and Ben bumps into a blind lady who's carrying her work smash.
Oh, that's now.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now. Like, really, that's soon. But yeah,
okay.
He bumps into her name comes up later. It's
Alicia Masters.
Thank you. Is she a comic book character or no?
Yes, she is.
Okay, so the way she said it, like, man, she must be important in the comic books. And he bumps into her. He knocks her life's work statue on the ground. And she's upset, distraught about it. He just picks her up, like manhandles her in a weird way. Like everything's okay. And she gropes his face like, oh, you're a pretty looking dude, apparently.
And this is where they fall in love, because this is the only interaction they have before they're in love.
Yes, they fall in love at first kind of sight. And it's the cutest thing ever.
Fall in love at first sight with a blind woman.
Yeah, kind of sight. Yeah, he sees her. She doesn't see him.
This is stupid. This was it, because he breaks her statue, then he manhandles her and says pretty much just, calm down, woman.
It's not even just her statue. It's a statue she's been working on forever. So it's something she should be totally invested in.
Yeah, and he just picks her up and says pretty much, calm down.
Yeah. And she should be distraught, but she feels his face like, oh, he's pretty. It's all cool, buddy. And she pretty much says that. Like, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's just a statue. Like, you were just saying that's your life's work. You can't go from life work to just a statue. It's just a second. Sorry. Then we cut to, I guess, more of the Diamond Heist guy. The bad guys pull up in front of the building. The Victor's bad dudes. The Doom's bad dudes. And we get back.
Yeah, but you didn't explain what was in the.
We're getting to it now.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Every bad guy's getting a position because they're all trying to get to this briefcase. And what's in the briefcase? This big hunk of diamond thing.
It is the fakest looking diamond ever.
Yes.
It looks like it's plastic.
It is because it is plastic, obviously. It's not even shiny. It's just like a hump of I don't know how would you explain that.
It looks like someone accidentally melted a plastic globe or something.
Yeah, but they're all over it. Is that what you want to say about it?
Yeah.
You just rush me to get this just to say that.
Yeah, I wanted to explain how bad this was because this is the first instance of the bad effects in this.
No, this is not the first instance of bad effects.
Like, no, the really, really bad effects.
The really bad effects to me were the visual effects, the special crazy effects.
But the special effects, I expected to be really bad, like because that's the stuff that always gets put in last, you know?
Yeah, but like it's 94, man.
But someone looked at this piece of plastic and said, "Oh, this is gonna be diamonds."
Oh man, like that's not diamonds, but okay. Anyway, Reed's trying to explain what this thing is. It's like he's just saying the heat's gonna go through it and diffuse. It won't be effective that badly, and we can harness it. Like, okay, where'd it come from?
Apparently, it was given to him by a bunch of armed guards, so I guess it's on loan from him to do his experiments.
That's
I mean, Reed Richards has always kind of had a lot of pull because he's like, I think one of the smartest people, if not the smartest person in Marvel canon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So he's like,
I think he's even destroyed the world in one of the reality.
wait, hold on. So is he smarter than Tony Stark? Then I guess like, if they introduce him in the MCU, would he put Tony Stark a run for his money?
Yes. He's pure scientist, and Tony Stark's more of an engineer.
That's fascinating. Even smarter than Bruce Banner and all of them.
See, it's hard to tell in this day and age. The Fantastic Four was the first superhero team.
Oh, that's true.
So they were out in before all those other guys were. So it's kind of hard to decipher nowadays who would be
The smartest.
Yeah, the smartest. Like I could probably like in DC lore, it's Bruce Wayne, Lex Luthor, and
Bruce Wayne?
yeah, I think it's Bruce Wayne, Lex Luthor, and what's his name? I can't remember his name.
What's it look like?
Mr. Terrific.
Wow, Bruce Wayne is one of the smartest, if not the smartest people in the DC.
Yes.
Bruce Wayne, really?
Uh-huh.
I don't picture him being that like the Batman, the Brutus. I can't wrap my head around that.
And I don't know who Lunella Lafayette is,
No idea.
but apparently she's the smartest in MCU.
Oh, is it the black girl that's like replacing Tony Stark or some shit?
Well, she is black. You're right about that. Her current alias is Moon Girl. Apparently, she's an Inhuman.
Okay.
I don't know. She shows her riding a dinosaur.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I don't know who she is, actually.
Okay.
Never even heard of her before. But number 2 is Valeria Richards.
I guess his daughter.
I think so. And then it's Reed Richards himself. But yeah, Reed Richards is 3, Tony Stark is 4.
That's pretty cool.
I don't know who DR is. It just says DR.
Dr. Doom.
Number 6 is Hank McCoy, which is Beast from X-Men.
Yep.
And then Hank Pym is the original Ant-Man. And then apparently Shuri from Black Panther
Oh, okay.
is 8. And then 10 is some guy named Amadeus Cho.
Anyways, hold on. I'm zoning. Let's get back to this review. This is not important.
You're the one that said, let's do it.
Well, I didn't want you to go down on a 20-person list. Okay.
I just was going to top 10.
Okay, cool. So they're oohing and ahhing over this diamond. And yeah, they just walk away from it. Like, oh, cool. Let's get lunch. And he sets up this nice little laser or green laser system on the ground. Oh, he mentions he's doing this for Victor's memory to get this going. The jeweler, he sneaks.
This is where we get the sexy laser dance that we get in all the spy movies from, the...
Oh, this is even sexier. First he comes across, he sneaks in, he comes across the lady the blind lady doing something culture shit, and then he gets to the main part. He wants to break through into the room and get this just fake diamond thing.
Right. And he does, he does the ballet around all the lasers.
But it's not
Like,
really ballet. He's just jumping. He's playing hopscotch. He's literally hopscotching his way through the laser.
Worst laser grid ever.
He's literally shaking his legs and jumping, shaking his legs, and it's the cutest, dumbest thing ever. But he gets to it. He turns them off. I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Stupid. And he picks up the
And there's no alarm system for picking it up or nothing. He just takes it and replaces it with he replaces the fake diamonds with identical fake diamond.
Which I feel like the prop master had to have one big circular thing and just cut it right in half. Like, that's the same thing. It's fantastic. But Dr. Doom henchmen are watching him do this, and Doom is so happy because this guy did the biggest, hardest thing for him and saved him a lot of problems.
All right. Before we go any further, I guess I should go into a few things here. One, Jeweler is not a comic book character.
No, I thought he was.
No, but he's got a lot of similarities to the first Fantastic Four villain, Mole Man.
That's who I'm thinking of then. Okay.
Yeah, there is a Mole Man in the comics. He's the first villain in the Fantastic Four comics. He appears in the first issue. And he was shunned by humans because he's so short and ugly. He couldn't get a job or a girlfriend because of his looks. So he travels around the world and finds Monster Island.
It's like really called Monster Island.
Yes, and he digs down into goes down into this chasm, which leads to the center of the earth, where he trains all the monsters that live in the center of the earth. And that's essentially what the Mole Man is. But this Jeweler has a lot of similarities. And I think I don't know why did you just call him Mole Man.
I guess it'd been offensive to someone at the time. Who knows?
Who knows? But I guess they just called him the Jeweler because he likes diamonds.
That's so okay. I guess he's more like obtainable, more realistic than the Mole Man.
I guess, but he's supposed to be the Mole Man. Alicia Masters is the blind girl, and Mole Man or Jeweler is obsessed with her. We'll get to that in a little bit. But Alicia Masters is also from the comics. She was debuted in the 8th Fantastic Four. Her dad was actually a villain known as the Puppet Master.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And she did end up dating Ben Grimm for a while, but she was the Skrulls, right?
Yes.
You know what Secret Invasion is?
Yeah, I do.
Well, and a Skrull replaced her.
Oh no!
And broke up with Ben Grimm, and then the Skrull ended up marrying Johnny Storm. So Ben Grimm thought his girlfriend broke up with him and went with his friend Johnny Storm, but it didn't turn out that way because she was a Skrull, and they found her captured by the Skrulls. That's just what I mean by the Fantastic Four is messed up.
Yeah, that's really fast. It's really fascinating, actually.
Actually, and Alicia Masters is actually a big deal too because she's played a big part in the big story arc, the Coming of Galactus, which is pretty much that Fantastic Rise of the Silver Surfer movie.
Oh, okay.
But in that, Galactus is coming to eat Earth, and he sends his herald, the Silver Surfer, to come and do it. And the Silver Surfer, when he first comes to Earth, he crashes into her apartment.
Is she blind in the comics too, or is that just this movie?
Yes.
Okay.
No, she's blind in the comics.
Okay.
She Silver Surfer crashes into her apartment, and she's the one that convinces the Silver Surfer that, humanity should not be destroyed by Galactus and everything else. She trying to turn Silver Surfer.
Interesting.
So yeah, and then she's also like Reed Richards' surrogate baby sister because they're Fantastic Four and they don't have people to watch their kids.
Of course not. Why would they?
But yeah, and I think that's all we need to know about her.
I appreciate that.
You may continue now.
I don't need your blessing.
You're not talking, so apparently you do.
I'm looking at the IMDb. I'm sorry. I'm getting all the names in front of me. I don't know why I cannot remember their names to save my life. So Dr. Doom is happy that the diamond has been stolen, and he had to put all the work into it. And then we cut to the rockets are getting launched into space with the Reed family, or the Fantastic Four, we want to call them. So yeah, they launch into space. I guess they're not that too deep into space. I guess they're like just on the cuffs, I guess. And the mission fails because they activated the machine, and obviously the diamond's not real. So even Reed Richards says diamond's fake. We got to abort, and it's just
When did you figure that out?
right. Like how is that? How do you know that's the thing that's wrong? Anyways, they crash. The spaceship explodes while crash landing onto Earth, and they land in some green space on green land, green area. And they wake up, and they're like not scratched at all, just dirt on them. While they're crashing, Doctor Doom's like, "Thank God they're gone," and goodbye, Fantastic Four. And it cuts to him on his throne, and I love that shot so much. It's pure comic book, and he's his costume designs really well, honestly.
Yeah, it's not bad.
No, he's
But the chinking sounds they make him make is really bad.
the what?
The chinking of his metal.
You don't like it?
Every time he moves, it's like ching ching ching. It's clearly sound effects.
Oh, okay, yeah. Clearly, that aside, his look is pretty. It's pretty comic
It's
book.
not bad.
Yeah, it's comic accurate, spot on. So yeah, they crash on the planet, back up out of Earth. They're not hurt, and this is where they discover they have powers. They can't fight. First off, Johnny comes. What's up?
Yeah, God.
I was. They're concerned, like, hey, we're not hurt, guys. Well, it's just the three of them talking. Sue Storm's not even there, and
Yeah, no,
they're
they
not.
don't
They're
care
not
about
concerned at all. Like, she's not. It's like you guys aren't looking for her.
Well, she's the woman. Of course not.
Well, doesn't the old man have like a attraction to her? Like you guys.
Of course, but
No,
you know,
it's-
she's still a woman. That's how they treat her in it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Johnny sneezes because he's got dirt in his nose. He sets a bush on fire. Does he sneeze?
Oh.
He sneezes first, and
Yeah.
then like, where's Sue at? And now they start kind of no. She's
Johnny Storm's effects in this is so bad. His fire effects are probably the worst thing in this.
You're right, because her effect, her disappearing effect, isn't bad at all.
No, it's not bad, but is it really hard to make someone disappear?
No, not at all. That's been doing this since like forever.
No, the stretching, Mr. Fantastic stretching is pretty decent.
Yeah, because they hide the stretch pretty well.
Yeah, so I mean that is pretty good, but his
Yes.
fire is
It's
particularly bad.
it's atrocious. But even his acting is like bad too. Like everything about that character is like, man, I hate this character so
He's
much.
like a '90s extreme guy, you know?
Yeah. It's like, yeah, bro. He's like, ugh, turn it down a few
Yeah.
notches. And Ben's still Ben. He's not the thing yet. We'll get to that later. But they get freaking out. They don't get picked up yet. No, they get picked up, I guess.
No, they don't, because they cut over to the blind lady getting delivery.
Okay, so yeah, they're there all day, and then we cut to Doom and his henchmen talking some shit. They're just expositioning, and then we cut to the blind lady getting a delivery for the she's making sculptures now. It's very fast.
They're doing a memorial for the Reed Richards experiment for blowing up, and she doesn't realize it until she touches Grim Ben's face sculpture, I guess.
Yeah, she's like, oh, Ben's dead. No, but like that's a very fast process. That thing just like did they know it's gonna blow up?
I don't think so, no. But I guess it was a high probability.
It's dark, so they just had this shit ready just in case. That's weird. But while she's doing this, is she kidnapped now? Yeah, we cut to the mole man or the jeweler. In his little light sanctuary underground, and he's got his minions like, "Hey, I got the best thing ever. I want you guys to go get me a queen for this thing I just stole."
And this is where, when he says, go get me a queen, all his minions start chanting queen, 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 and the music starts to play. And then when it cuts over to the kidnapping,
Yes,
and they're all just going after getting her, I swear it felt like it was going to jump into a musical.
you say that, but you're not wrong. It's so Broadway how these
Did it feel like they should jump in and start singing?
because the way these people with his minions are moving, they're really Broadway actors with their hands in the air and your
it's very
face.
choreographed.
Yes,
And it's the music's playing up. I'm waiting for it to burst out into song.
that's so funny. I didn't think musical, but I definitely thought Broadway, and that's so good. Yeah, it's like acting to the 10th degree. But yeah, they why she's blind, she can't fight. Just take her. And they draw this out for a few minutes. They finally
They have to get their dance choreographed.
I guess.
And she's blind. She's not deaf. And there's like 17 people walking into her apartment. I thought your senses got better. But apparently, when you're blind, you go deaf too, because she did not hear a single one of these guys sneak in and kidnap
Well,
her.
she's too distraught, face fingering this Ben statue, so she's got other things to worry about than people breaking into her apartment or her building, wherever she's at. Well, after she's kidnapped, we cut back to the Fantastic Three in the dark, because I mean they're all night, and I guess that's where the wreckage is found from the government. And the government's ready to shoot them because they see a big rock thing coming up behind them. It's Ben. He's not the thing.
Yeah, yeah, he's the thing, all right, in a really bad rubber suit.
Yeah, it's a bad suit, but I guess I'm forgiving of it because it's not the worst suit.
Yeah, it's not the worst suit we've seen in these movies.
No, it's not like it's a suit you would see Godzilla fighting. Like, okay, it's a suit, obviously, but it's passable.
But the problem is, he has to spend the rest of the movie in that suit.
Oh, I can only imagine. I can only imagine how
And
miserable.
the more you see the suit, the more you realize it's bad, especially when he tries to talk in it.
Oh, see, I thought the talking I thought the facial movements were pretty decent.
It's pretty decent at first, but the more you see it, the more you realize how bad it is.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Like, the longer the movie goes on, like, man, it's a lot of work for nothing.
Anyway, so they're taking. They happen to land in Latveria of all places.
Is that where they land?
Yeah, because they're.
Oh, okay, because that's Doom takes them. So you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit.
And did you notice that every time they cut to Dr. Doom's place, it looks like Dracula's castle?
I love it.
It's just like a painting of Dracula's castle every time.
I
With
love
lightning.
it. Yes, I love it so much. It's like the best aesthetic. I love that aesthetic. I love the gothic, over the top. Don't talk to me, I'm emo kind of shit. It's great. But anyway, they get taken into, not known yet, but into Doom's castle. They're in like the medical bay area, and this doctor is just going from room to room to room. It's just like, okay, give me some of your blood. You're a rock. I can't penetrate you.
So all these guys were put in isolation just in case, right?
Yes.
Why isn't this doctor wearing like a protective suit or something?
His face is totally exposed. He's a doctor. He's got that big metal thing on his head for some fucking reason.
And granted, he's an evil doctor scientist working for Dr. Doom, but still, if these guys are like contagious and radioactive, you would think they'd be wearing suits or some kind.
Especially for a rock creature, you would think, yeah, all precautions are possible. But no, he just walks in, breathes the air and everything. And so he gets to the thing can't get to his skin. He gets to Johnny sets his hand on fire, sets his famous flame off. He figured out his little quirk. Get to Sue, she's invisible. And then he just hands the needle. He says, "Hey, Dr. Fantastic." He doesn't say that. Hey, Reed, you get the needle from me. And he just stretches. They all do their little special powers. After that, he reports back to Dr. Doom in his menacing dark room. He explains to him, like, these people are so great. The blood is important, etc., etc. And Doom has a cliched, classic thought: you can put all the blood to one person. How great that person could be. Is that a common thing in the comic books?
No, as far as I know in the comics, they cannot be drained of their Colossus energy to be put into a single person.
Colossus energy.
Because Colossus energy does not exist in the comics. It's cosmic ray.
That's fair. And then we cut to Doom's henchmen infiltrating the jeweler's nest. They have a confrontation. They give us the diamond. We want the diamond. And they pull these wacky. They do the dumb quick draw effect with the guns in their sleeves the whole time.
You also forgot to mention they have the poor blind lady tied up.
We see it at this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do, don't we?
Yep.
Yeah, but they don't care about her, right?
And she spends the rest of the movie tied up.
Yeah, she's the damsel in distress.
Damsel in distress.
Yes, yeah. Poor old blindy.
She's even worse because she goes from hostage to one guy to a hostage to another.
I love that scene. I love that scene so much. Doom in this is really good. He's got the charismatic. Is he charismatic too in the books?
Yeah, I would say he's charismatic.
Okay, he's a great character in this. I love him a lot. Anyways, he comes back to the room with all the heroes, the four, and they're just going through their shit.
They get tired of Dr. Doom's experiments.
Yeah, they try to
let's get out of here. And so they break out, and then they get to his main science lab.
Before when they're breaking out, they have the thing fight off the three guards. It's like a weird transition.
Yeah, they don't actually have them fight them. They just have them do the newspaper spin transition.
Yeah, but yeah, they switch outfits. They go.
Which is weird because they have them fighting at other points in this.
I guess this movie's not consistent.
No.
Not. But yeah, they take that out by the guards. Now they're wearing full hazmat suits, whatever. They walk through the place trying to figure out how to get out. And Dr.
Aren't they wearing Dr. Doom outfits?
The yellow ones.
Who are? Oh, the Fantastic Four.
Yeah. His henchmen are wearing Dr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Why was those other ones wearing hazmat suits when the other ones weren't wearing hazmat suits?
To tell the difference.
Just so they had a costume to escape in, apparently?
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, they get to a room where they can escape at, and Dooms meets them there. He does his monologue and tells them Like they're like dead or alive, your body's still good to me either way. Walks out, his henchmen come in, like you said, they just dresses just like Dr. Doom but smaller.
Oh my god, this was a Dr. Evil moment. Yes,
Yeah.
I don't care if you're alive or dead. Henchmen, kill them while I go do something.
He legit walks away, and which is stupid. After this whole scene, he walks back in, like, that didn't go as planned.
Now he comes back in and says, "Good." Now,
Yeah,
there's a hole in my wall.
It's so good. It's so goddamn good. I love it. So yeah, there's a big fight. Well, like this henchman fire machine guns and hit no one. Just a thing, cause and the Fantastic Four escape through a wall after this.
Johnny Storm uses his special effects power to
heat up the wall.
That the thing can just break through at any moment.
No,
because moments earlier he literally broke through a steel door.
You know what that reminded me of?
What was that?
A D&D session where the sorcerer is trying to do their best to break out of a thing, and the barbarian comes through and does it for them. And it feels so defeating. I spent like 5 minutes rolling these dice, and they weren't in my favor. You come up, roll nat 20, and break through it. It just hurts the soul sometimes.
That's just the role of the guy.
That's exactly what that was. Like, I've been there so many times. Anyways, they escape. Doom comes back in, has a little funny moment, and they end up back at their place, I guess, right?
Yeah, and the Fantastic Four tower, which has a 4 on it and everything.
Does it?
Which doesn't make any sense to me because they're not the Fantastic Four yet. They just got their powers.
Exactly. So stupid. Anyways, they're having like a little talk, and Ben's like, "You guys, I'm a freak. You guys aren't. I'm gonna go out and walk around New York City because."
This is where I noted the weird music throughout the entire thing.
Yeah,
but this is also where I just wrote the Thing drama.
Oh my god! Well, I wrote down something similar. What did I write down? Sad thing, sad boy thing. I think or some shit like that. It's like, what's the point of this?
Before we get into that, though, this is like halfway between the Things drama. Sue Storm comes in with Fantastic Four suits.
Yes.
It's like, what, did you already have them made, or did you just make them now?
And then like, she has them all form-fitting, too. Johnny Storm is probably...
They made sure They made sure she was in that uniform the longest time.
Yeah, she does a little swirl, also shows off all her figure, like Michael Bay directors or something. But yeah, things going through that.
But back to the Thing, as he sulks and he walks out in the street and people are scared of him. He's like homeless for 3 minutes for some reason.
I thought about this. Like maybe it just speaks to me. If I ever turned to something like that, I don't think I'd be that depressed about it. Like, oh man, I'd be pretty hyped to be indestructible.
Maybe. I don't know.
I guess because I've always been a big freak as of this. I'm just used to it by this point. So like an extra layer of rock on me. I was like, okay, whatever.
I guess it depends on where you are in your life and what you have to lose from being like that, you know?
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah.
It all depends. Yeah. It also depends on what kind of person you are. Like
that too.
Emotionally and stuff like that.
Because he, like you said, is like he's not the hothead, but he is like the egotistical, the pretty boy kind of guy.
But this whole drama seems like it takes place over the like years of time because, you know, he's sitting in the alley being homeless for a second and it's like he's been a freak all of his life and then he finally comes across the Mole Men and they understand him.
So you've been that way for a day, buddy. Just a day and no one's really seen you. Like, why are you so sad? So stupid.
But yeah, he finds the Mole Men.
Yeah, so they accept him because we get you, buddy. We were like you. And he doesn't know they're the bad guys yet, so he just walks right in like, yeah, okay, I'm part of this crew. Even though it's a tied up blind lady over here. I don't remember.
He doesn't see her.
I know he does. I know, but it's like, come on.
Because if he did, that would change everything.
Yes. Although he does see her during this scene.
Not until Doom shows up.
But right now, okay, clicking through. We cut back to Fantastic Four. Why?
Yeah, he doesn't see her until Doom shows up.
Yeah, so they go back to Fantastic Four for something. Go back to the scene. Doom comes in, has his thing. They all shoot bullets at him. His henchmen come in and sniping off one by one of the jeweler's henchmen or goons. Doom walks up, does his thing. His great, charismatic monologue. The jeweler holds up his princess as a hostage, and Doom's like, "Do I know her? I don't care."
Yeah, he's like, "I want the diamond," and the moment comes out after his most loyal henchman gets killed with his queen. He says, "Come any closer and I'll shoot her." And he's like, "Don't let me stop you." "I will. Go ahead." And then Thing shows up, and he's like, "Oh, Ben Grimm." And then he takes her hostage, and we pretty much do the whole scene again, except it works this time.
Oh, it's so good. I think that's so clever, honestly. But now that Ben says this thing, it's clobbering time for real this time, or whatever.
No, wait, but
But
what before even that happens, Alicia is like to Ben when she sees him.
well,
I
yeah,
love you after seeing you one time.
not even seeing you. I just hear your voice and felt your face, and I know it's
Yeah.
true love, Ben. I haven't really known you that long. I don't know how much of an asshole you really are. But her saying all this, like, it just weakens his rocky heart, and he becomes normal Ben again.
Yeah, which
With like some of the bad visual
I
effects.
mean, he kind of in comics turns back to human every now and again,
Yeah, really?
but never like this.
How's he deal with this? Does he use like a serum or something?
Like I know Reed eventually cures him of it, but then he gets turned back into it.
Okay.
And right now, if I remember correctly, he can turn human one day of a year, and that's the only time he ages.
How much does he age? Is it 24 hours or is it like years of age?
I think it's just 24 hours.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so he gets to be human one day a year, I guess.
Okay. That's so dramatic. I kind of like that.
So yeah, Doom captures them and takes her back to her hideout. So the Fantastic Four suit up and they go back to Latveria because Dr. Doom's like,
No, man. You forgot the whole Skype session Doom has.
I was about to say that because Dr. Doom says,
Why are you taking over? This is my podcast. So they have their Skype session. Doom calls and like, hey, Fantastic Four, this is my new technology. Skype future. Don't worry about it. And come get me. I got some princess. I actually zoned out this section. What's he say right here?
He says, if you don't surrender
That's
yourselves to me, I'm going to blow up New York.
Yeah, which is just New York
With
City.
my laser beam.
And Dr. Evil walks in.
With my bad special effects.
Yes.
They couldn't even get a laser beam right.
Anything. It's low. It's a $1 million budget. What do you expect?
Still, how hard is it to make a laser beam?
It's hard, TJ. Have you made a laser beam recently?
I've never made a laser beam.
Exactly. So anyways, they get to his castle.
But I bet you I could do a better job than that.
Probably. Well, it's like 30 years difference, too. They get to the castle. They get caught in this tractor beam
excuses.
thing. And
I'll use the same equipment they use.
he's monologuing still, like always. And while they're getting trapped in it, Reed uses his special handy-dandy stretchy foot to kick over the beam.
He kicked over the beam. What?
Yeah, they're in the tractor beam lockdown thing.
Well, so they get trapped in because they stand in the exact spot they needed to stand in order to get caught.
Yep.
But I turned my head for a second and I missed how they got away. And I was too ready to be done with the movie to rewind.
No, he's literally standing there. He just stretches his foot, and literally just his foot, not his ankle higher. It's just ankle lower. Stretches his foot and kicks the beam over.
Kicks the laser beam.
Yes, that's exactly what happened.
He didn't kick like a piece of glass.
Nope.
Deflected.
He kicks it, and Doom's like, no, as it's wobbling back and forth and falls over. That's exactly what happens.
Oh, and by the way, while he's torturing them with his laser beams, did you notice only Sue is screaming?
Yes.
Everyone else is all stoic and like not screaming.
We're men. We don't scream. Yes.
And then we get the epic showdown, the fight of all fights.
Is there a fight of all fights? I know Johnny Storm goes full Human Torch with his bad CGI, chases the beam. A beam that's attacking New York City.
Human Torch versus a laser beam.
Yeah, it's like a race. Doom fights Reed, like a little slap-off fight.
And Thing and Sue fight the Doom Juniors.
Yes, that's who they fight. That's stupid.
They're just thugs. They just showed that Sue uses an invisible force field.
Oh, really? Because honestly, this is the point.
Did you see? You didn't see the invisible force field?
No, are you making it?
One of the guys tried to hit her because up until this point, all she did was disappear and duck as the other guys shot each other.
Yeah, I forgot I was going to mention that. Yeah, you're right.
That's all
so stupid.
But for a split second, one of the guys came after her and she uses a force field to hit her. She's actually got some pretty decent cool powers after they give her cool powers a little later on in Fantastic Four. She's actually might be one of the strongest people with powers because of her ability to control force like that.
Yes. I would say it's her, then the Rockman, then Johnny. Because Rockman's indestructible. It's hard to beat that mood. Anyway.
What, the Thing,
you
mean?
Yeah, same thing. It's the Rock.
Rockman is Mega Man name in Japan.
You nerd. And you wonder why the podcast lasts so long. Shit like that. Anyways,
no, it's because you spend like 15 minutes in between each scene
trying to figure out what's going to happen next. Yeah. So Reed's fighting Doom. They're hard to punch off at the top of the castle. Reed pushes Doom across over the ledge, and Doom almost falls to a death of Reed. He's clinging onto the side. Reed puts his hand down. Doom's talking so much shit while he's getting saved that you will never have what it takes to do the final pushing and killing of someone. He detaches his hands, I guess, and just falls into the...
But his glove's still alive.
Now, is that a thing in the comics or something? Is that special?
I don't know. I just think that was sequel bait.
Oh, okay, because we don't see him die, but he just falls to...
He falls, But I will say,
Yeah.
in 1940s Batman, anytime the Joker falls from a high thing into like water or something, he's never dead.
Oh, exactly.
So,
This movie's following those fucking blueprints.
so as long as he falls into some water, I'm pretty sure he's okay.
Well, yes, we cut to Johnny saving the world and Sue coming.
So this laser beam thing, he flies him. He
Oh,
chases
yeah.
the laser all the way from there, all the way from Latveria to New York, which I mentioned is in Central Europe, essentially.
Yes.
So he flies super far and super fast, and then jumps in front of it and explodes his fire to blow up the laser beam. Right?
Yes.
Why didn't he just destroy the machine?
Because this is cooler. It's showing off
Why
the
didn't
visual effects, man.
Why didn't he just blow up the machine with his fire, and that would have stopped the laser beam?
Listen, we don't have time for logic. We have time for coolness.
It made no sense to me. It even showed that the laser. It wasn't like a gun where it shot the laser and the laser went forward and then wasn't connected to the machine. The laser stayed connected to the machine the entire time.
You're right. You're really
Which
right.
means the machine was powering the laser. So if you blow up the machine, the laser no longer exists, which would save the world without the flight across half the world.
We can just unplug the machine. Plug the
Yeah,
iPhone in.
that
Yeah.
too. But if you don't want to destroy it, if you don't want to destroy any more cities or anything, blow it up.
You know, that's so funny. Anyway,
Look, there's a lot of things I can hand wave in superhero things, but that was just it's basic superhero. Just break it.
listen, I didn't even think about that until you just said it. So I would probably do the same thing Johnny Storm did.
I guess it's just me then.
You would have been the one to walk over. Yeah.
I mean, literally. Well, if I was the Thing and I just got done or Sue Storm and I just got beating up the Thing and I seen Johnny Storm fly, I was like, "What are you doing? I'll just go turn it off." Or Thing, go break it real quick.
I'm sad I didn't even think about that. But yeah, okay, the day is saved, yay! And we cut to the next scene is Sue and Old Man Richards are getting married.
Yeah, well, it's canonical, so
I know, it's just so creepy. And they're dressed.
yeah, it's a. Oh, you know what? We forgot to mention it, but when we cut 10 years in the future, the way they age
Oh,
Reed
yeah.
is by giving him silver stripes in his hair, and it's not convincing at all. He does have those
Yes.
in the comics, but it doesn't look good in here because it doesn't look like he aged at all.
Yeah, no, it's just the hair got a little gray. Oh, it's so good. But yeah, they had to drive away in the limo with Mr. Fantastic's arm waving in a weird, freaky way. And that's the movie, guys. That's Fantastic Four 94.
The end. It was very, very Roger Corman.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
It was very silly and very comic booky. But even with all that, it's still. Like I said, I have to rewatch the other Fantastic Four movies
Yes, same.
to really judge it. But I feel like that's probably the most comic accurate one.
And I had the same feeling when watching it. Yeah. Just from the tone to the costumes, to a lot of things in it.
And it looked like whoever wrote this really took some time to do some research.
Oh yeah, I was reading up on it, and like you said, like there's someone bought so many comic books. The costume design person bought so many comic books just to make sure the detail for the costumes were proper. So there's a lot of the detail. Like for them not to release this movie theatrically or even like the home video it's really upsetting because so much went into it.
And you know what else I was thinking watching it? It doesn't look bad.
Exactly.
So I'm looking at this movie. I'm like, this looks like a real movie. Why wasn't this released? I mean, we obviously explained why, but this looks like it should have been released.
It would have had if the budget's $1 million. It looks decent. You promoted it to hell. Why not just release it?
Right?
You would have made some money back.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, even the worst movies at least make almost $1 million,
Exactly.
right?
Even the special effects are bad, but they're not like turn a movie off bad. This is a fun Corman level movie.
Exactly. It's stupid comic book fun.
Yeah.
And I think people would have really liked it.
Yeah. Even for it to be so still today, so hard to find.
Well, we found it pretty easily.
Well, we have our ways. That's why.
I think it's on YouTube too, though.
Is it?
I think so.
Oh, okay. But like, I would expect to see this on Sci-Fi Channel every once in a while or something. But like, to really have to hunt this down the way we had to, like, I'm kind of upset because it's not a terrible movie. It's not the best movie, obviously, but it's not a terrible movie. Are you on YouTube looking right now?
Yeah. Hold on.
I'm curious. I was on Google looking.
1994, an hour 31.
Is it?
Yep, and I have it on right now.
Well, everybody who's listened to this, I would highly recommend you guys, after this podcast is over, go on YouTube, look it up, and watch it.
Yeah, I mean, it's right there. I'll even plug the guy who has it, who posted, Christopher Benslim, who has 1.4K subscribers.
Well, Christopher, if you're listening, you wonder why.
He's not listening to this.
No. But it's like, why do so many people just subscribe to my thing? We did it, Christopher.
Yeah.
We did that. Movies and Us.
We don't have that many fans.
Yeah, we do.
Anyway.
One fan is a lot of fans, okay?
We don't have that many fans. They're all idiots anyway. Let's go.
No. We gotta.
I forgot the number.
Yeah. You just call these egg suckers idiots for no reason before they just turned us off. Thank you for that. You're ready to end this thing.
You can always cut that and put it at the end if you want.
No, I'm gonna keep that in.
All right.
So what are you gonna give this Fantastic Four 1994 movie?
I want you to go first.
I was debating on giving it a 5, honestly. I'm not giving it anything higher than a 5. But my logic is it's a good movie, it's average, it's not great, not bad. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10 just because I feel some of the stuff visually make it a little below average. But story was good, and there was like no loopholes or besides the whole rocket under the laser not getting destroyed, but there's like no like plot holes major. There was dedication to making this.
Hand wave.
Exactly.
Hand wave.
Exactly. Like everything it's a solid film. So I would give it a 4 out of 10.
I actually landed on a 5.
Did you really?
Yeah, I landed on a 5. It's a very average movie.
Yeah.
But, and I think its flaws were counterbalanced by its comic bookiness, which turns it into an average superhero movie for me.
That's fair.
So I landed on a 5.
No, that's
definitely not the worst one we've watched.
No, and I went in thinking it was going to be the worst one we watched.
Yeah, so did I. I went in thinking, oh man, this is going to be really, really bad.
Yeah.
Which means it's either going to be really, really good or really, really bad. And
Exactly.
We didn't get either one of them, but we got a pretty fun movie in comparison.
Yeah, and like you said, compared to other Fantastic Fours that's been released to this date, it's probably the better of the 4.
I don't think I've ever laughed at a movie as much as I laughed at this one.
Really?
As far as these superhero movies, just being pure comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is the one that I've laughed at the most because it's just so ridiculous in some points. But it's also the one that I laughed and face palm the most too.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of "You're the Fantastic Four," and I'm just
yeah.
There's a lot of
the things sad montage. Why are we doing this?
There's a lot of exposition not needed.
Yes.
Well, and especially when the music starts to swell all dramatically, and it's going to be one of those moments. And when you get to those moments, it's like, all right, how much more time I have in this movie?
But luckily, those moments that do happen, they don't last too long.
No, but anytime Reed Richards does a speech, you kind of tune out a little bit.
Yeah. Pull your phone up real quick, check what's going on in the world. Yeah, but
or check the time, see how much time you have left in the movie.
But for it being an hour and a half movie, it was a fast hour and a half. It never felt like 2 or 3 hours. Okay, this isn't bad.
I still felt it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, because I checked about 4 or 5 times.
Oh, so did I. But I never felt like...
it felt like every 20 minutes I've been watching an hour of this.
Oh, that's good.
I did feel it on this one.
That's fair. Well, yeah, now we... Yes.
Now we can say goodbye to the idiots?
Yeah, bye, idiots.